we have a plan.
Oh my God!
You fought well yesterday. Your style is unorthodox.
Scorpio.
Good morning, Yankees universe. Welcome back to another episode of the Yankees Morning Brew on this Tuesday, July 29th. It is Tuesday News Day. All you Yankee fans, wake up and get your coffee. Grace Monroe, how you feeling today?
I am so happy to be here with you and your lovely face today, Hector. I am only 1 day away from securing my Yankees cowboy hat.
Yes, priorities.
Every time lately they've been showing that cowboy hat, I'm like, I'm getting that cowboy hat. Y'all, if y'all don't know, Hector is going to the game tomorrow, and he's gonna scoop a cowboy hat for your Texas Yankee lover right here. So I cannot wait. I'm so excited. How are you, Hector?
I'm doing good, Grace. Like I said earlier, it is a Tuesday News Day. It is 94 degrees in New York City. It is a crisp Tuesday morning. For all you Yankee fans that are in the chat, how are you feeling? Even though the Yankees lost, we try to still have positive energy. Let's shout out the chat, because I got an announcement to make. John, the Beagle Dad, is in the building. John, how you doing? Theo Nosebleed section is in the building. Theo Nosebleed, how you doing? Our friend Tina's in the building. Tina, salute. Jonathan is in the building. The Ace Av is in the building. My buddy El Delulu, Yankee fan, is in the building. Stephen B, Jacob Petruzzi. Jacob, thank you so much for dropping the TikTok. Thank you so much for dropping the YouTube link for Ace Avenue. Folks, we got an announcement to make, Grace. This is something that I kept secret from Grace Monroe. I didn't let her know. I wanted her natural reaction to this. So, guys, we have a hard stop today on the show at 1 o'clock because I will be traveling to Somerset, New Jersey to go to the Somerset Patriot game. I am working media. We have a one-on-one interview with George Lombard Jr. And also, it is Zorro nights for the Somerset Patriots. It is Latino Appreciation Night, which means your guy Hector Bochum from Latino Sports will be throwing out the first pitch today at the Somerset Patriot game. Let me get some W's in the chat for your guy Hector. Yes. I will be throwing out the first pitch today ahead of the Somerset Patriots game for Zorro Night out in Somerset, New Jersey. Thank you so much to the people from Somerset, from the Patriots, from the Yankees organization. This is awesome. Again, this is Zorro Night, Latino Appreciation Night in the building.
Look at me, I'm shaking. Oh my God.
Guys, make sure you guys are following me on TikTok. Jacob, if you can, throw the TikTok link again, because I will be live on my TikTok account while all that is going on. So if you guys can follow the TikTok, if you guys want to be right there with me, make sure you guys are following on TikTok. But we got to jump into this conversation, Grace.
Oh my God, no. First of all, we have to talk about this. This is so exciting, Hector. First of all, you know what Derek Jeter said. Don't bounce it. Don't bounce it. We're all going to be watching, Hector. Are you going to throw from the mound? Or like
I'm throwing from the mound. I'm not trying to go in front. I'm throwing from the mound. I'm not trying to cheat. I'm going all the way with it.
Have you been practicing, or are you like ready for this?
I've been throwing a baseball my whole life, but yeah, I've been practicing a little bit or whatever, but yeah, I'm ready to go.
Okay, this is so exciting. Okay, congratulations. We're all so proud of you, Hector. Really out there just living all of our dreams. Some of us are just really riding those coattails. I've got a grip so hard on your coattails. You can't shake me. So I'm so happy for you. That's amazing. And I love Zorro. I always loved Zorro. Oh my God, that's so fun.
I just want to say I appreciate what you said, Grace, but this is something that all of us, we're all a part of this, right? I started Yankees Morning Brew with my man TC Stills some years ago. Shout out to TC Stills, Grace Monroe. Shout out to Damien as well, who was a part of the show. And Damien's going through a lot of stuff. I hope Damien's doing good. But everybody that's in the chat, you, Grace, everybody that's behind the scenes, we're all a part of this, and we all have been working on this together, right? Yankees Morning Brew is not what it is without the people in the chat. Literally, 2 days ago, on the 27th, it made my 1 year anniversary with Latino sports. And look at everything we've been through over the past year. Look at the growth that we had. Grace, we was at the winter meetings, Grace. We were rubbing elbows with Brian Hoke and Jack Curry, Grace.
I know.
I was at the MLB All-Star Weekend like a couple of weeks ago. Great. Look at what we have accomplished. This brand, Yankees Morning Brew, teaming alongside Latino sports. Look at what we have done.
I know. I keep wanting to post that photo that I took with Jack at the winter meetings. Every time he has like some interview or some hot stove news, I want to post this photo of me and Jack, and I'm like, no, don't do it, Grace. But I have got this incredible photo of me with Jack Curry that Hector took, and he's just the nicest guy in the world. And honestly, speaking of the trade deadline, speaking of, let's bring it back to the Yankees and everything.
Let's jump right back into it. Segue.
Is the one that we trust, the one that we listen to. I know there are conflicting reports out there coming from, left, right, up, down, and all the other ways, okay? Beat reporters trying to convince you that the Yankees are not active, that the Yankees are not buyers, that the Yankees have people that are off the table. Let me tell y'all right now, Jack Curry is the only one to listen to this time of year, okay? So as long as Jack Curry says the Yankees are being aggressive, the Yankees are looking to add 2, maybe 3 arms, all these things Jack Curry says, that's the gospel.
That's a fact. Jack Curry is one of the guys that if I need anything specifically Yankee related, I always go to Jack Curry. But yesterday, Grace, being in the media, the press box, I was able to witness something for the first time, right? The conversation between a reporter and their inside source. I'm not going to say who the reporter name is. I'm not going to say who the inside source is. But now I understand how the game is played.
Right.
Scouts are this inside. When people say inside sources connected to the organization, it's always a scout. It's always a scout. That's the one thing I'm going to say. And one thing you guys got to know, like if one scout is at the game covering, say like a play like Cam Schlittler, like there was a scout yesterday in the press box sitting literally right next to me, and all the beat reporters was coming up to him, and my big ass Puerto Rican earrings was hearing a lot of tea. But when you look at that, right, and notice that, okay, that scout, he's not only there for the Yankees organization, that scout is licensed by other team in Major League Baseball. So that scout is there working with other teams, giving them information. Yeah, you got the Yankees that have their scouts that are exclusively to them, but then you have scouts that are at games covering certain players or looking at certain players for either one team, 2 teams, 3 teams, or 4 teams. So yesterday, while I was at the stadium having a conversation, great man, one thing that I got when it comes to Spencer Jones, I got some tea when it comes to Spencer Jones, the hot top Yankee prospect in the system that every Yankee fan want to see called up right now, especially in the absence of the captain, Aaron Judge. When it comes to Spencer Jones, I'm going to put the stats back up on the screen. I don't know where it disappeared. On the season, this is combined both AA and AAA. 314 batting average, 29 home runs, 57 RBIs, 16 stolen bases, and 255 at-bats. Anybody looking at those numbers would say, you got to call that kid up ASAP. And I think the Yankees will call this kid up after the trade deadline. And this is what the scout told me yesterday at the game. The Yankees right now do not want to call up Spencer Jones before the trade deadline because they're trying to include Spencer Jones on in several trade packages, right? If it's something that they want to, if it's something that they feel can help benefit their team, they don't want to call up Spencer Jones because God forbid he comes up and over the next 2 or 3 games, he just struggles, strikes out 8, 9, 10, 5 times, and his value decreases. This is the highest that Spencer Jones' value has ever been as a professional baseball player, and the Yankees are trying to capitalize on that. So if the Yankees keep Spencer Jones past the trade deadline, you can guarantee Spencer Jones will be up with the big league team. It's just right now the Yankees are pausing it with all these injuries because they don't want his value to decrease. That was what I was told yesterday at the stadium.
Yeah, I mean, and we're not talking about a long period of time, right? I mean, we're talking about Thursday, right? So the trade deadline is incoming, and there is a little bit of a dance that goes on with front offices and beat reporters and other franchises that are wanting to work with you or wanting to not work with you, where the ownership or the front office will create demand on prospects by feigning scarcity. Okay, so basically what I'm saying, and Cashman does this all the time, and basically what I'm saying is they'll say something like, oh, this guy is off the table, we can't offer him. Well, what's that going to make another team do? That's going to make them want that player even more. Okay, so there's a bit of this guy's off the table and we're not even going to talk, and there's a bit of, oh no, don't ask about Spencer Jones. We don't want to deal him. But then they're like, we want Spencer Jones only. And then the Yankees are like, okay, well, if we have to, then we will. When they really wanted to trade him the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? So there's a whole lot of dancing. There's posturing. There's, scarcity creates demand. Cashman knows this. I mean, better than a lot of GMs.
Yeah.
He's been around for a long time, as we well know. So this is not his first rodeo. So yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on. Just hang on, a couple days, we're gonna know everything.
I want to shout out my guy TC Stills, who is in the building. TC Stills, I'm not sure if you're just joining us, but if you haven't heard, later today, your boy Hector Beauchamp will be throwing out the first pitch for the Somerset Patriots. So shout out to my guy TC Stills. I love you, brother. When I first started this show, TC was one of my first co-hosts that I ever worked with, and I love your baseball mind. I love you and your family. Shout out to you. And when it comes to Spencer Jones, like Erica put in the chat, big ass quotation when it comes to the back issues or the back spasms from Spencer Jones, right? But no, I'm in agreement with you, Grace. Right now, I think the only player that you can say is a guaranteed player that is untouchable is probably George Lombard Jr., right? If the right package presents itself, I think the Yankees would entertain when it comes to trading Spencer Jones. And right now, you hear the Yankees entertaining trades for shortstops, right? So we don't know what's going on. You hit Willie Castro, right? Even though we got a third baseman now, Ryan McMahon. So there's a lot of moving parts. David Cohen is in the building. Shout out to my guy, David Cohen. I got to say, shout out to Theo, Double A. Double A, where have you been? I've missed you. I hope all is well. Double A, greeting all. The freak is back. I like our new the freak is back. Double A, I can't with you. I like our new third baseman. Decent lefty bat that can go from 20 to 30 home runs easily in our park. We got a staff once Cole and Hill return. So why trade for a sub 500 pitcher? Double A is in the building, dropping the knowledge. I hope all is well. Shout out to you. But no, going back to the trade conversation, the Yankees are going to be very, very, very active at the trade deadline. They're active right now. Like Brian Cashman, he's picking up the phone calls. And what I was told is that the Yankees are being very aggressive. They're just not trying to have the wolves pull over their eye. And if there's one thing I could say, Brian Cashman, if there's ever a time for you to go all the way in, this is the moment that you do that. As a GM, as the person that's in charge of this front office, you hear the fans. You saw the fans yesterday that had the sign that said "Fire Cashman." This is something that a lot of fans have been talking about. But to see them at the stadium doing it, finally some fire is getting under his seat, if you get what I'm saying.
I saw the Fire Cashman banner, and you know what else I noticed yesterday at the stadium? I wasn't there. I was watching on TV, obviously. But what I noticed that was happening at the stadium were the boos that Anthony Volpe was hearing. And here's what I want to say real quick, and I know we're going to get into this, but before we even start getting into this, I'm not going to tell people not to boo, okay? Because, do whatever you're going to do, whatever. And I love New Yorkers. I love Yankees fans, like whatever. But here's what I want to say. Booing Anthony Volpe is not going to help him get better right now. The thing is, we don't have an option right now for an everyday shortstop. We need him to play to the level that we've all seen him play before with his glove. That's what we need. Booing him to oblivion is going to send him over the edge. And I swear, if it gets any worse, it's going to be really, really hard, if not impossible, for the Yankees to overcome.
Yeah.
That's all I'm going to say about that. I mean, I want to talk about the Anthony Volpe thing. Heck, I sent you a couple videos. I know I'm not crazy. Like, I remember Anthony Volpe being good with the glove.
Mm-hmm.
You can argue, oh yeah, he shouldn't have won the Gold Glove because Wander Franco, like whatever. I'm not saying that. I'm saying I've seen him be good with my own eyes at the shortstop position. And Hector, I sent you a video with highlights of these incredible plays that Anthony Volpe's made. The poor guy is totally lost. He's reeling. He's emotional. He always wanted to be a Yankee. He always wanted to follow Derek Jeter's footsteps. He's got all this pressure on him from us, from his family, from his neighborhood, from everywhere else. And to have him get booed so bad, my heart broke for the kid. Like, I know he wants to figure it out and he wants to be better. Like, help him. Dude, I'm begging. Yankees, I'm begging you. Help him. Stop sending him out there with no plan, no solution, no end in sight. I don't care what you have to do. Help him. Because he's about to be lost forever, Hector. Yeah. I swear.
I want to play this one video first of the boos, and we'll talk about it.
Ground ball, knocked down by Volpe, but it's going to be a hit for Caballero. Kind of harsh boos there.
And like you said, it's not an easy play, but to hear Boone after the game says he's not going to get Caballero as soon as it's a 3-hopper to his right. There's no play, but that's one we want to secure. And the ending, I think, is important because everybody, they're beating up on Boone because of what he said at the beginning of that statement. But the ending, you got to secure that ball. Even if Caballero is going to beat it out, you got to secure that ball, Grace. And I don't want to be unfair to Anthony Volpe. There's a lot of that that's going on right now. But at some point, when is your Major League Baseball shortstop going to make the average play at his position?
I know. It's bad. It's bad, and it's snowballing. It's getting worse. And the longer that they wait to do something about it, the worse it's going to. I don't see. This is what I'm saying. They can't just keep letting him run out there and let the boos keep getting louder and louder and loud. And look, I realize that the boos aren't necessarily for Anthony Volpe
per se.
Personally. Yeah. They're they let Cashman, Boone, Howell, everybody know that this level of defense from a Yankees shortstop is unacceptable to the fans. I get that, okay? My only thing is, like, what's going to help Anthony Volpe right now? Because we don't have an option. If we keep letting him fail and fail and fail and boo and boo and boo and fail, this season will be over. Like, we can't have a hole at shortstop that bad where, like what you said, he can't field routine ground balls. Like, the team will collapse defensively. So I only care about winning this year. If we have to put a Band-Aid on Anthony Volpe just to get through the end of the year and then George Lombard Jr. can be the shortstop next year or whatever, that's fine. But we can't do that right now. All I can do right now is try to help patch Anthony Volpe up just enough to get through the rest of 2025. Yeah.
And when you look at George Lombard Jr., he hasn't like been performing when it comes to his bat at the AA level. He's been a lot better over his past like 10 to 15 games. He's been a hell of a lot better when it comes to his bat. He is one of the top 20 prospects in all of Major League Baseball, referring to George Lombard Jr. But the Yankees, the better George Lombard Jr. performs at AA, the more it's going to make the Yankees' decision a lot easier when it comes to Anthony Volpe. Because if George Lombard Jr. struggles and continues to struggle when it comes to his bat, then the Yankees are just going to be forced to stick with Anthony Volpe, and Yankee fans are just going to be frustrating at the stadium booing this kid anytime he's out there. And again, I say this, it's down the middle when it comes to who overhyped Anthony Volpe. 50% of that falls on the organization, and the other 50% falls on the fans. It was a lot of unwarranted pressure put on Anthony Volpe. Some players can handle the pressure, like Aaron Judge, and some players can't. And it seems like Anthony Volpe is one of those players that may not be able to handle the pressures of playing in New York City.
I just think he wants to do well so bad that his heart is breaking. That's what I feel like I'm seeing.
Mm-hmm.
And when you're feeling that way, it's like what Aaron Boone always says, like, I don't want my guys to get emotional at all, one way or the other. I don't want them to swing at all. I just want them to be centered. I think Anthony Volpe does a good job at that for the most part. But at this point in the season, it's been so many failures strung together for so long. It gets to you eventually. And I think we're starting to see that crack, break open, and we're starting to see the real downfall. And I'm worried about it. They can't just keep sending him out there. I mean,
No, Grace, I'm with you, because it's frustrating to see, especially when we grew up watching Derek Jeter at shortstop, and then we transitioned to Didi Gregorius, and ever since Didi was let go by the New York Yankees, it's been a revolving cast of musical chair at the shortstop position, right? Again, Erica put it in the chat. This feels like 2023. This feels like 2022 when we had IKF at shortstop and he was making errors on the routine play. And Yankee fans were coming for IKF in 2022. So I agree with you, Erica. I agree with you, Grace. When it comes to the level of frustration, I want to take a pause real quick. Guys, we got over 86 people watching us collectively on YouTube. We're sitting at 43. If you guys can, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. When it comes to likes, we're on 22 likes. So let's try to get the likes to as close to 50 as possible. When it comes to subscribers, Grace, we are at 5,603 subscribers. We are literally less than 400 subscribers away from 6,000. We appreciate all the new subscribers and everybody who has found us over here at Uptown Sports TV. Go ahead, Grace. Seemed like you wanted to say anything.
Can you play that video of Anthony Volpe's defensive highlights that I
got you.
Let's all take a trip down memory lane, okay?
All right, let's take a trip down memory lane. I wish I had some music to play with this.
I know.
There's one. Noah fires into second.
Bam.
Nice play by Volpe. Gets to his feet. Fires. Got him.
He got it there in the air. Who'd have thought?
In the hole. Backhanded by Volpe. The throw to first. Got him.
Ground ball, tough play. Volpe with the backhand, long throw. Rizzo.
See?
Yeah. Grounded to the left side. Volpe to second for one. On to first. In time. That is a
lot of great plays by the first
6-4-3 double play.
That's what I'm saying.
Hit hard right to Volpe. He's coming home with it. In time for the out. Two down.
I think when you see this, right, there's no way that anybody can say that Anthony Volpe's not injured.
That's what I'm saying. Something is going on. Heck, I've been saying this. Something is going on. Whether it's personal, whether it's mental, whether it's an injury, there is something going on. But at the end of the day, it doesn't matter whatever is going on. It's the Yankees' job to protect their players, and that goes for mentally, but also physically, but also to protect them from getting booed into oblivion and absolutely ruining their career. That's what's happening to Anthony Volpe right now, and the Yankees are just throwing him out there. I mean, they can't keep doing it.
And I think that's why you're hearing Willie Castro as a possibility, right? The shortstop also from the Tampa Bay Rays. He's escaping me. Walls, I believe so. He's horrible with the bat, but he's great defensively. And
Walls.
Walls, yeah. And that's why you're hearing these names closely linked to the New York Yankees, right? Caballero as well is a name that's being thrown out there as a possibility for the New York Yankees at shortstop. And I feel that the Yankees front office, they're watching what us fans are watching. They're just not going to come out there and say, yeah, Anthony Volpe sucks. I don't think anybody is going to come out there and just say that It doesn't matter what the organization is. I don't think anybody in 2025 is going to do that to their players. This is not Billy Martin where you could do that in the 70s or 80s or anything like that. This is a new day and age in baseball. Some of you fans may like it. Some of you fans may hate it. You may want the old school tradition or old school style of management. Copy that. That's not my argument. But what I'm saying is that there's a reason why you're hearing shortstops tied to the New York Yankees. There's a reason why you hear Harrison Bader's name being floated out there as a possibility, because the Yankees are exploring options around Trent Grisham and using Trent Grisham as a trade piece, right? Now, this all falls back on what are the Yankees going to do when Aaron Judge comes back? Because we haven't talked, Grace, since our last show. We haven't talked about Aaron Judge and his injury, but Aaron Judge, sound the alarms, because Aaron Judge is on the 10-day IL, right? Granted, is being off for a couple of days, and he has a UCL strain in his throwing elbow, which is okay because it avoids Tommy John. But this means that Aaron Judge for the rest of the season, Grace, is going to have to be the DH. He's not going to be able to be in the field like that. So what are the Yankees going to do with Giancarlo Stanton? How are we going to fit in Spencer Jones? And what are the Yankees going to do at the trade deadline? There's a lot of questions that came up over the last 48 hours that weren't in Brian Cashman's head before.
Yeah, it is such, oh my God, what's going to happen? We don't know. My emotions were like a roller coaster when I heard about the Aaron Judge injury. First of all, anybody who was watching that game in Toronto knew that he was injured. Thank you. And I said, send him right now. Send him right now. Why are we waiting to go get him x-rayed or to go get him with the MRI? He's the best player in baseball. It's extreme negligence. We're not talking about some, random bench guy, pinch hitter, utility guy. We're talking about Aaron Judge. And you waited like absolutely malpractice, okay? First of all. Second of all, I was like, okay, if Aaron Judge is out, the season might really be over, for real. And I've been sitting here telling everybody, wait till the trade deadline, we're going to be fine. But if Aaron Judge is going to get Tommy John, it's GG's, okay? But then they were like, okay, no Tommy John. And then I was like, Christmas is back on. Like World Series, here we come. And then they're like, but he can only DH. And I'm like, oh God, like what's going to happen? I don't know. The trade deadline is going to be extremely telling because going back to what we were saying about Anthony Volpe, for example, the Yankees know more than we do. Okay, so we can have doctors on our show tell us about flexor strains and what's going to happen and blah, blah, blah. But at the end of the day, the Yankees have all the information. They have the charts. They have they have everything, okay? So what they do at the trade deadline is really going to tell us how bad the injury is, how long it's going to be, what the scope is for the Yankees' future, okay? So like you were saying about Spencer Jones earlier, the fact that they haven't moved him onto the 40-man roster and called him up to possibly replace Aaron Judge or whatever is telling to me, right? I mean, everything that we're watching right now is telling. We're just going to, unfortunately, we're not in charge and we have to just wait. And waiting is the worst. But our show on Thursday is probably going to have a very different tone. And maybe we'll even get some breaking news today.
Yeah. There's something I want to bring up in the chat. Jacob said, heck, you buying the selling rumors? And no, I'm not buying the selling rumors. What I was told is that the only way the Yankees are going to sell if Aaron Judge is going to be out for the entire month of August. That's the only way the Yankees are going to become sellers. If Aaron Judge's injury is a lot worse than what we know, that's the only way the Yankees are going to become sellers. And yesterday, Aaron Judge, he wasn't on the field for batting practice. He was in the Yankees corridor for BP. And the reason why I know this is because if you look on the pictures, Luka Doncic and Aaron Judge, they met up, right? Around the time they met up, that area is closed off to us media, to the media people, but they were in the Yankees inside batting facility. And you could tell because of the stuff that's around Aaron Judge, like the cages and stuff. So there's only one reason for Aaron Judge to be in there, and that's him taking BP. That's the only reason Aaron Judge is going to hang out in that batting practice facility, and that's him taking BP. Now, I'm not sure if he went 100%. Maybe he was just trying to get the feel with the Yankees doctor to see how much limitation he has when it comes to swinging, because he has that strain in his elbow. But one thing I want to show is that yesterday at the stadium, Luka Doncic was at the stadium yesterday, Grace, with Aaron Judge, and it was awesome. This is from Bleacher Report, but if you see, it was via Latino Sports because we got the video. So shout out to Bleacher Report for dropping the video.
One without.
If you're watching Judge, you can see he has no cast on. He has nothing on his right arm, and the right arm is the one that's touching his hat right now. So if you look at it, the injury may not be as bad as it could be when it comes to the Yankees selling. That's the only way the Yankees sell, if Aaron Judge is going to be out for a lot longer than we expect.
I heard that, excuse me, I heard that they gave him some PRP injections in that tendon or whatever, in the arm, I should say. And so they are doing things to try to speed up his recovery. PRP injections are one of the things that has been noted to speed up recovery there. So obviously they're doing everything they can to try to get Aaron Judge back on the field as soon as possible. Giancarlo apparently was taking reps in right field yesterday. I don't doubt that he would go out there and try. He is so down for the team. I don't want to say anything negative about him at this point right now. I just want to wait and see. Again, we just have to wait and see what's going to happen by the deadline. We have to assess the team after Thursday. Assessing the team right now is pointless. It's pointless because it could look totally different in 2 days. So before you question personnel here, who's going to play here, who's going to play there, we need to do that on Thursday at 5:00. Okay, not right now. So I get why everybody is worried. Last night's game sucked. I mean, at least we got to watch Cody Bellinger be amazing. But other than that, last night's game sucked. Cam Schlittler looked pretty good. That was a silver lining.
He battled.
He looked good. I mean, it's only his third major league game. So, he looked pretty good. Cody looked good. Ryan McMahon continues to look good. Ahmed Rosario got a hit. Both of our new acquisitions have had hits in 100% of the games they've played in. 100% of the games they've played in, they've gotten hits. So, we can see the plan forming. We are now focused on arms. We need 4 arms.
Yeah.
But we'll probably get 3. We got to get at least 2. That's where I'm at. And as you noticed, there haven't really been a lot of arms moved yet. No.
The reliever market did get a little thinner, or a lot thinner yesterday, because of the Emmanuel Clase situation and that fiasco that's going on. And then one thing I got to say is that if you're somebody that worked your entire life to get to where you're at, why are you going to risk it for sports gambling? Now, if you're in debt, now if you owe money to gamblers, that's different. Or allegedly, I don't know. I don't know. But 2 or 3 weeks ago, when that first Cleveland player was popped for the same thing, there was a Dominican journalist who reported there's going to be a lot more coming out. And Emmanuel Clase is the first domino to fall, and I don't think he's the last. I think there's a lot more baseball players in Major League Baseball that are getting involved in this, and it's a systemic issue that Major League Baseball needs to handle. But it's kind of hard when Major League Baseball, they got in bed with the gambling companies. This is what happens. This is all coming out because you got in bed with the gambling companies. Now, that's another conversation for another day, but go ahead, Grace.
I was just going to say, Cleveland Guardians, y'all are in a lot of trouble, okay? Let us help you out. Send us Stephen Kwan, no big deal. we'll take him off your hands. You know what I mean? Like, you don't need all that smoke right now. Send Stephen Kwan over to us and, take some stress off your shoulders.
Yeah. I want to just address this real quick. With the Ohtani situation, I'm not sure, Jose, and shout out to Jose Medina, how much you have read into the Shohei Ohtani situation. His interpreter literally called up the banks pretending to be Shohei in order to deposit and transfer money. He was robbing Shohei Ohtani. He was calling up the banks with Shohei's personal information, pretending to be Shohei. And there's recordings of this, and he was robbing Shohei Ohtani without him knowing. So you could, if you want to look into more of it, you can, but that's just my estimate from it. But again, when it comes to the trade deadline, David Bednar is a name to keep an eye on, right? And if you have the Yankees are going to try to get 2 players from whatever team they trade with. So if the Yankees are trying to get David Bednar, Mitch Keller is a starting pitcher is a name to keep on your radar because the Yankees may try to get them both. If the Yankees are in when it comes to Harrison Badar, they may try to get another reliever or another player from Minnesota, whether that's Willie Castro or whether that's Gavin Lux, the reliever that they have. Is it Gavin Lux? I think that's his name. Yeah. Something Gavin, I don't know. But there's a reliever that's not Johan Duran that the Yankees may try to get as well. So whoever the Yankees try to get or whoever the Yankees may try to trade with, they're going to try to get two players back in return. Jeff Passan put it out there yesterday. The Yankees have the prospects to trade for whoever and get whoever they want. It's going to come up to the Yankees' willingness to trade those prospects.
I think it's very common for a franchise to say our top prospect is off the table. That's who George Lombard Jr. is to the Yankees. There isn't really a lot of teams at the trade deadline who are willing to move their top prospect. I feel like that happens more in the offseason. But the trade deadline is not for that typically. Unless you're the Dodgers and you just trade everybody last year and then you go on to win the World Series. So I don't think they're crying about it. Anyway.
Griffin Jacks. Thank you, Eddie. Griffin Jacks. I had a names blank on my head. Thank you, Eddie. Go ahead.
Me too. I have so many names floating in my head around this time of year especially. I mean, did you hear Eugenio Suarez got hit and then went for x-rays, and so everybody was like, he's off the market, and then like an hour later they're like, he's back on the market. I mean, it's a roller coaster right now, but we love it, right? We love it. We're going to be wishing for this stress when the lockout happens in 2027. So
oh yeah, we'll get to that conversation because we got about like 17 minutes or 18 minutes before we got to wrap up. Mark T. Maker said, shout out to Mark T. Maker as well. An original day one, A1 since day one. What do we need Bader for? The reason why the Yankees were entertained bringing Harrison Bader back is that the Yankees are putting Trent Grisham up and trade conversations. The Yankees are trying to flip him for a reliever. So if the Yankees send Trent Grisham out, we're going to have to need an extra outfielder, and Harrison Bader could be that extra outfielder that the Yankees get if they flip Trent Grisham. And it's only if they flip Trent Grisham. That's the one thing. Now, something I want to bring up. The Yankees front office, right? Yankees superfan on Twitter, shout out to them. They put this out there. Brian Cashman always puts himself in a bad spot because he waits until the trade deadline, overpaying to fill all of his team's roster gaps that he created. This is all on however, who doesn't have the will to spend more or the balls to fire Cashman. I should have just bleeped myself for that. Which he needs to do. I'm not sure about that. So Grace, I bring this up because I want to get your take on this, right? Who is to blame for this? Because we could do all the blaming in the world. Copy. Blaming does not solve the solution, right? But if we had to just have the conversation, where would you take it?
I mean, I'm not a Cashman hater. So, I mean, I think his job is really, really hard. I think the job that he's done over his tenure has been above average. And when you are constantly drafting, when you're constantly losing draft picks because you're over the salary cap and you're picking low, and yet you keep your team floating at the top 5 baseball teams year in, year out. I don't know. Like, I'm not a Cashman hater. Like, do I disagree with him sometimes? Of course, you know, but I don't know. I don't know. Hector, help me out.
My man Anthony Ribeiro, shout out to A in the chat. Anthony says, Hector, we have too many holes for Cashman to plug. Lack of consistent pitching, major inconsistencies in the field, and bottom line is we have been unable to beat Toronto and the Red Sox. Rebuild now. And when Yankee fans say rebuild, I hope Yankee fans fully understand the context of rebuilding, because rebuilding, yes, the Yankees in, I think it was 2016, they kind of hit the rebuild, but they still won 80 games. Teams that rebuild, like the Boston Red Sox over the past 3 to 4 years, sucking, finishing under 500, topping the lottery, that's rebuilding. So I ask Yankee fans, are you guys willing to endure 3, 4, or 5 seasons in a row of below 500 baseball, horrible product we're seeing on the field, not making the postseason? Are you guys okay with that product? Because if you're okay with that, then sign me up. You know why, Grace, I say sign me up? Because I've been a fucking Knicks fan my entire life. And the Knicks, they've never hit the rebuild button until 2020. But even with them not hitting the rebuild button, they still suck drastically, right? And that's the one thing I want to avoid as a Yankee fan, having to go through 20 years of what I saw with the Knicks, but with the Yankees.
Right. And that's what I'm saying. It's hard because I don't know. I don't want to go down this road of literally defending Brian Cashman. I have disagreements. Obviously the roster has problems. Okay, but it's not, I don't know. I don't want to say anything else. I'm tired of please don't make me defend Brian Cashman.
Bryce Bellonini says, Hector, what's your thoughts on his? Listen, if we could get Ryan Hesley, if we could get him, it's just going to improve the bullpen. If we could put a package together to make St. Louis want to trade him, go ahead. And I was told that he's going to be available as well at the deadline. So there's some truth to that one right there. But Delulu says 95% of the fandom thinks they want to rebuild, but wouldn't be able to handle what comes with it. Absolutely, Delulu. Right. So is there criticisms to that are warranted to Brian Cashman when it comes to roster construction? Absolutely. Right. Again, I'm going to bring up what Susan Waldman said when I was walking around in Atlanta. She said, how do you spend all this money on bringing in Max Fried? How do you make a brilliant trade and bringing over Cody Bellinger, but you decide to fold your hand when it comes to third base? And I agree with Susan Waldman. Maybe the answer wasn't Arenado from St. Louis. One, he had the no trade, and the Yankees were on his list, and the luxury tax penalty. Copy. The Marcus Stroman contract maybe handcuffed the Yankees. I get that. I understand that. But last year, when we signed Marcus Stroman, we needed starting pitching desperately. And he went out there, he added Marcus Stroman, and Marcus Stroman was solid for the first half of the season, and he fell off the cliff. That's what happens. So far, so good. Besides his last start, Marcus Stroman was good for his first 3 starts, and then his last start, he wet the bed, right? So I get it. It's easy to be Monday morning quarterback. It's easy to have hindsight 2020. I get all of that, and I'm impressed that I got those analogies right without fucking them up, because I normally do. But I get all of the frustration when it comes to the Yankees and to Brian Cashman. But pointing the finger and just screaming at the computer screen, it's not gonna solve it. It's just gonna get like clicks for like 24 hours. That's all it's gonna do.
Yeah, I know it's a popular take to hate on Brian Cashman. It's popular to get on YouTube and talk shit about Aaron Boone and talk shit about Brian Cashman and watch your views go up and rant and rave. But I don't feel that way. I have intellectual disagreements, but I don't hate him. I don't think fire him. I don't think that he's the reason for XYZ. In fact, he's probably the reason why we have Aaron Judge today, why we have Garrett Cole signed for a long-term contract, while we have Max Fried, while we have like everything good, nobody wants to give him credit for the good things he's done. Everybody only wants to yell about the bad things. And it's like, well, you can't just cherry pick one side or the other. You have to take the whole scope, baby. And the whole scope is that my New York Yankees are good year in, year out for the most part. Minus like 2 seasons in the last 25 years. They've been really, really good. They always have a chance to go to the World Series and win. And we have had, over the last 60 games, I think the worst record in baseball. Worse than the Rockies.
Yep.
And yet, we are in a playoff spot. Heck, if the season ended today, we'd be going to the playoffs. Like that. Listen, y'all, I know it's not good enough. We want a World Series ring, blah, blah. Trust me, I want one too. Okay,
Yep.
I'm there. I get it.
The Dodgers are dealing with injuries also, just like the Yankees, right? There's a lot of teams that are dealing with what the Yankees are going through right now. It's just the Yankees. We've been on a bad win-loss streak since the beginning of June, right? And the injuries are just compiling on top of it.
And like I said, we have had the worst record in baseball, and yet we're still in a playoff spot. We're still in a playoff spot. Let me say it again. We are in the playoffs as of today.
I just want to say also. Oh, go ahead. Sorry, go ahead.
Brian Cashman went out and he got us a third baseman. He got us a third baseman who immediately started contributing in a way that helped the Yankees win games. So far, it's already been tangible. He got us a utility player who has already contributed with hits and base running and energy. That's already happened, okay? Luis Gil is coming back from the IL next week, okay? He brought up Cam Schlittler, who has gotten us some wins, even though he didn't win last night, but he has contributed in a major way recently. He's not done. He's not done. So let's not judge him just yet. Call me Thursday at 5 o'clock, okay? That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, I'm in agreement with you, Grace. Shout out to my guy Mark T. Maker, who makes a solid point. Cabrera going down was a big hit. Cashman should have done something right then. And I got some good news. He's not going to be available this year to come back, right? But Grace, you know who I saw at the stadium yesterday?
Oh, let me guess. Clark Schmidt.
No, Oswaldo. I saw Oswaldo at the stadium dressed in Yankees gear around the cage for batting practice for the first time since his injury, and he gave me a big hug. I'm not gonna lie, he almost busted his ass. He was walking towards me, and he was like, "Hey, Bobby, go to die." He went to go give me a hug, and he tripped and like fell into me. And I'm like, Oswaldo, the last thing I need is for you to fucking hurt yourself when you're next to me. I don't want to get blamed for this shit, right? So shout out to Oswaldo. He was there at the stadium yesterday. Him and his beautiful wife, who I love so much. They're amazing. They're sweethearts. But he was there at the stadium yesterday. But to Mark's point, I want to touch back onto this. Cabrera going down was a big hit. Cashman should have done something right then. And Mark, I want to let Yankee fans know, right? Because I was told this when I was at the Yankee game on Friday. So it was after that we did our show on Thursday. I wasn't able to see you guys. Since then, we got to start figuring this out. But on Friday, I was told, Grace, that Eugenio Suarez, when he was at the MLB All-Star break, you remember when I said that I heard him talking to a Latino journalist, telling them that he already has it in his mind. He's expected that he's going to be traded away at the trade deadline. He just doesn't know where he's going to get traded. That same journalist he was talking to was at Yankee Stadium on Friday. I had the conversation with him on Friday. You know what he told me where Eugenio Suarez thought he was getting traded to?
Yankees?
Yep.
I knew it. How did I know that?
Apparently, Brian Cashman has been engaging with the Diamondbacks since the middle of June, trying to get Eugenio Suarez. But the Diamondbacks keep upping their asking price. Just now, yesterday, it was reported that they're asking for Miz Orosky or Miz, one of the top pitching prospects from the Milwaukee Brewers. So you could see why Brian Cashman wasn't able to make that trade for Eugenio Suarez, because they wanted Spencer Jones and Cam Schlittler in the trade, either one of them, and Brian Cashman was not going to do it. And it's to the point right now that they're asking for one of the top pitching prospects, one of the top rookies from the Milwaukee Brewers.
People are like, why didn't Cashman get Eugenio Suarez? He should have just made the trade happen. It's like, okay, well then he traded Spencer Jones and Cam Schlittler. well, why did Cashman trade Cam Schlittler and Spencer Jones? It's like, shut up. Like, you expect Cashman to go out and get a star player for nothing. Like, it doesn't exist. It's not going to happen. Like, these people, their expectations are wild. They're unwilling to trade Spencer Jones or any of our top prospects, and yet they expect people to go out and just hand us Emmanuel Clase, Stephen Kwan, Eugenio Suarez, and Mitch Keller, and we're just gonna roll. Like, it's not real. What is happening?
Grace, I gotta ask you, when did Cabrera get injured? I'm gonna look it up. When did Oswaldo Cabrera get injured?
May?
He got injured on May 12th, right? When did Corbin Burns get injured?
June
1st.
Damn, I am good. Ask me some more.
So that means immediately after Corbin Burns went down, Brian Cashman waited a week or two before calling up Arizona and beginning engaging conversations around Eugenio Suarez. It's not Brian Cashman's fault that the Diamondbacks kept upping the asking price to the point that Suarez is injured right now, and they may not even be able to trade him if his X-rays aren't clean from the hand.
Right. You can't force someone to trade you a player. Like, I don't know. The entire
shout out to my guy Ace. My man Ace said people want MLB to show trades. Yeah, exactly, Ace.
But you know, you can get those trades, but you know how? You trade Spencer Jones, Cam Schlittler, Clayton Beater. I know he's traded, but like talking about in June. This is how you can make it happen. You can make it happen.
Mm-hmm.
But that's what the cost is. And people don't want to pay the cost, but they want the trade to happen. You can't do that. Like, that's
and then also now also look, we would have been in the same situation this year that we're in right now without Spencer Jones and some more prospects if we would have traded for Corbin Burns when we got Juan Soto. You remember that?
Right.
Remember that Yankee fans were screaming, trade Spencer Jones for Corbin Burns. Corbin Burns is out with Tommy John. So what would have happened if we would have traded for Corbin Burns, gave him a contract extension? Doesn't mean that may signal we don't sign Max Fried in free agency. And what we do right now, no Max Fried, no Garrett Cole, and no Corbin Burns because they're out on the IL with Tommy John, both of them.
Right.
Because
and again,
I'm sorry, I don't think the Yankees trade Spencer Jones for Corbin Burns, allow Corbin Burns to go into free agency and lose him. Don't sign Corbin Burns. So, and I think the Yankees, if that money that they use for Corbin Burns, they don't have that extra money for Max Fried. We're not bringing in Max Fried. So that means that both Garrett Cole and Corbin Burns would have been on the IL with Tommy John. And we have no Spencer Jones in the farm system.
I mean, what I want to say, yeah, you're right. It's a thankless job. It's impossible. It's impossible to navigate. And with the injuries and all this, you can't predict everything. You know, you just do the best you can. But I've heard, according to Joel Sherman, I think it was Joel Sherman that I was watching his podcast this morning, and he was saying that Arizona was pretty upset that Cashman went ahead and pulled the trigger on a third baseman when they had been rumored to be so involved with Eugenio Suarez, because Arizona wanted to use that leverage of, well, the Yankees are interested, right? Everybody wants to throw the Yankees name around at this point in the trade deadline. And the Yankees were like, okay, you're not going to move him. We've been asking you, like what you just broke the story, Hector, that Cashman's been calling since June. Cashman finally said, all right, okay, I'm done. I'm going to get a third baseman. I'm going to go get Ryan McMahon. No one will give him credit for doing that. But that's what he did. He said, you know what? Y'all are fucking around and find out. I'm going to go get a third baseman because my team needs it now. And he sent us Ryan McMahon. Is it a perfect trade? I mean, listen, you can dissect the money, blah, 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 whatever. But at the end of the day, he got us a third baseman at the trade deadline for a low-ish asking price. And he's contributing to the team. And like I said earlier in the show, a lot of arms haven't been moved yet. So you can't say, well, Cashman wasn't willing to, blah, blah, Cashman failed again, Cashman fumbled. No arms have been moved yet. Nobody's gotten arms. Everybody needs arms. Nobody's gotten arms yet. So let me tell you, Cashman is on the phone, and I believe we will get some arms. And
I'm just nervous.
yeah.
I'm just nervous.
Yeah.
That one, I think the Yankees are also engaged in conversations for Dylan Cease, right? One, Dylan Cease, he's a free agent after this year. He's having a down year. Maybe the Yankees can get him. Maybe the Yankees can put him into the pitching factory or whatever and fix him around with Mac Blake copy. You could take the gamble on Dylan Cease because he's not going to cost you much. When it comes to your relievers, right? When it comes to the bullpen guys, do not give Matt Blake projects to work on, hoping that he can turn them around. No, I don't want that. I want proven guys. I want guys that are strikeout guys. I don't want somebody to come in, a reliever whose sinker has crazy movement but has an ERA over 5 and a walk rate. He's walking 5 batters every 9 innings. I don't want that. I want proven relievers who you can throw to the back end of that bullpen, who can help Luke Weaver, who can help Devin Williams, and add and remove guys like Ian Hamilton, right? Guys like Root Baker, even though Root Baker was pretty solid in his last outing last night and stuff like that. But you understand what I'm saying. I want proven guys added to that bullpen. If you want to take a gamble with Dylan Cease, fine. Take a gamble with Dylan Cease. He may not cost you much. You may have to trade JC Escara, which I will fucking die if that happens because that's my homie. Again, at the stadium yesterday, JC ran down on me. It's always love when I see JC. That's when I can really say that I have a real good friendship with a baseball player. JC Escara is an amazing human being. And shout out to him as well on fatherhood.
So let me ask you this, Heck, since you brought this up. You don't want to.
We got 5 minutes also, because guys, later on today, I will be throwing out the first pitch at the Somerset Patriot game. Sorry, Grace. I just wanted to let everybody know we'll be logging out in 5 minutes.
You're good. I was just gonna say, since you were talking about not adding an unknown pitcher to Matt Blake for a project, when we have Heel coming back next week, what do you do with Warren, Schlittler, Stroman? Do you move one of those guys into the pen? Do you send Cam Schlittler back down? Like, what would you do?
I think the Yankees will. I'm sorry. Go ahead. You wasn't finished.
That's all I was gonna say. Was we've got Cruz coming back soon. We've got Yarbrough coming back in maybe like next month. So you've got these arms incoming. Plus, we're going to add some arms. I believe we will add at least 2 arms before the end of the trade deadline. But Heel coming back next week, what do you do? Because what I was going to say was, if you are Matt Blake, you have familiarity with Marcus Stroman. You have familiarity with Will Warren and a little bit with Cam Schlittler, probably more Will Warren and Marcus Stroman. So if you put them into the bullpen, you already have a rapport with them. You know what their strengths are. Like, what would you do?
I just want to say shout out to Theo Nosebleed section and my guy Bryce Baloney in the chat who says Joel Sermon on the Yankees trade deadline plans. They love to get at least 1 starter. That 2 would be perfect. They'll love to get 2 relievers, 1 lefty, 3 would be perfect. If the Yankees keep Cam right past the trade deadline, he'll be sent down to the minors. The Yankees want to build up his innings. They don't want to send him to the bullpen. They don't want to have him going back and forth. He's already stressed out as a starter. They don't want to have him going to the bullpen and having to deal with that whole going back and forth. Am I a starter? Am I a bullpen guy? He's too much of a young pitcher to go through that. If it was an older pitcher like Marcus Stroman, then the Yankees probably wouldn't care because the Yankees don't view him as being a part of their future. Somebody like Cam Schlittler, if they can keep him past the trade deadline, he'll be sent down to the minors just to build up his innings, and he may get called up if there's an injury that happens all in September. So I can see that would be the Yankees' plan, because Luis Hill would be coming back. Cam send down to the minors if he's still with you, or you could package Cam in a deal because the Yankees are still trying to add a starting pitcher like Joe Sermon Bryce put it in the chat.
Okay, what about Stroman or Will Warren? Like, you're going to have too many starters as of next week. You'll have 6. You'll have 6 starters. So what do you do? What do you do with Stroman?
They'll let Ryan Yarbrough and Luis Hill piggyback off each other, right? Because Luis Hill is just coming back. They'll probably let him go 5 innings, and they'll use Ryan Yarbrough as a long reliever, somebody who could come in. Say like if a starting pitcher only gives you 5 innings or 4 innings, You bring in Ryan Yarbrough so you can pitch 2 or 3 innings, save innings for your relievers, and then the next day you just pass it on to your regular guys that you bring out the pen.
But see, hope is coming, y'all. We have people coming back. I know this is such a like cliche, but it's true. We have people coming back. We just have to stay afloat. Honestly,
we will be. We will be. We will be. Again, a lot of people are reporting that the Yankees should sell. That only happens if Aaron Judge is out for longer than we expect him to be. I'm not sure who that guy was on the foul territory. I know somebody brought it up saying that Judge could be out for as long as a month. I'm not sure. I haven't heard that. I was there at the stadium yesterday. I'm at the stadium tomorrow. If I hear anything tomorrow at the stadium, you guys will hear it on Thursday. That's why I set up now that I'm at the stadium on Monday and Wednesday and Friday, so that way on Tuesdays and Thursdays when we're doing the show, I could give you guys whatever information I get from the night before.
Perfect.
But
Hector, have an amazing night tonight. Soak it all in. Video everything.
yes, like. Go ahead, Grace.
Get George Lombard Jr. to say, "Hey guys, thanks for watching Yankees Morning Brew," or something like that. You have to. You have to.
I got you. Guys in the chat, we appreciate all of you guys. Grace, we are at 5,608 subscribers. So we got a few more subscribers on the live stream. So we appreciate all of you guys. Thank you guys for tuning in. Hit that like button on the way out. Make sure you guys are following on TikTok, because I will be live on TikTok from the field at the Somerset Patriot game, where I will be throwing out the first pitch for the Zorro night, representing Latino sports for Latino and Hispanic Heritage Nights with the Somerset Patriots. Shout out to big time Jerry Cadill, John the Beagle Dad, I appreciate you. Jose Medina, shout out to my man Jose, Alan Anderson, Bryce Baloney, Eddie Snaps, David Eisenberg, I appreciate you. My man Stephen B, shout out to Stephen B. Big time Jerry Cadill, I appreciate you. Chris Perez, shout out to Chrissy Perez. Theo Nosebleed section, Mark T Maker, I know TC Stills was in earlier. My guy, the Ace Avenue. That's Baseball Erica. I appreciate all of you guys. Guys, if I didn't say your name, I am sorry. I do apologize. I appreciate you, Mark T. Maker. Thank you so much. Mark, you've been with me since day one, brother. Make sure you live. Make sure you follow me on TikTok. The link is in the description, or you could just look up Uptown Sports TV on TikTok. It will pop up. But Grace, last words for the people?
Last words are, this is a 4-game set with the Rays. All right. So we still have, y'all, I feel like I get over here every day and just like tell everybody it's okay. But talk to me next week after the trade deadline. If we are dead ducks in the water, we can call it next week. But until next week, we're in a 4-game set with the Rays. It is not over yet. We have 3 chances to win and gain some ground in the AL East. The Toronto Blue Jays are faltering right now. The Tigers are faltering right now. These are the only teams we need to worry about as of today. So take care of our own business and get some hits going, help out the starting pitchers, play some good defense. And we're still in it. Oh, God.
John the Beagle Dad says, sticks and stones will break my bone, but how you say my name will never hurt me. Chuggle. Shout out to John the Beagle Dad. I appreciate you. And my good friend, Stephen B. Hector, I'm celebrating 9 years of marriage. Woohoo. Stephen B., shout out to you, and shout out to the lovely wife as well. Yankee fans, like always, drink your water. Say something positive about yourself. I'm your guy, Hector.
I'm Grace Monroe.
And this is the Yankees
Morning Brew.
And until next time, Arriba the Dirty, have a good night, and Avidense.
You fought well yesterday. Your style is unorthodox.